Hello, everybody. My name is Christopher Saunders, and this is the Connecticut Sports Talent Show, where we talk all things talents in Connecticut. And on today's show, I'm pleased to have a junior from Fairfield, Warde, who made a game-winning layup against one of the best teams in the state from Sacred Heart Academy. The team that lost, the team that won was Fairfield Warde, and the player that I have on that made the game-winning layup was Carley. Emily, I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Before we get into the game itself, I think we need to go back to kind of even before the first game was played of the season, because you were telling me about how last year was a growing year, a lot of young players, a lot of experience. For people who may not know the journey of how your final layup that beat Sacred Heart got to that point, talk to me about last year a little bit.
Last year, we were still a good team, but I think each player was good individually. We weren't really good at working together yet. So each player obviously had their own talents and we showed that, but we didn't work well together as well as we are now. So I think that the more time we spent playing together, our chemistry has gotten so much better, like from last year and this year.
Mm.
But last year, yeah, we struggled to get far. Um, But this year we did a really good job of playing well together and understanding how each other works so we can make it further.
So when the final game was played in season end last year, right? So what was the conversation like with your teammates, with the coaching staff? Because I'm sure there was a lot of, missed opportunities, but also, hey, a lot of us are coming back. Let's
Mhm.
improve. Let's get better.
Yeah, last year, our last game is first round of states. We actually played Stanford, like just like we did this year. And we all knew we were going to be back together. So our coach told us, he was like, everyone's coming back. We have a chance to be better together next year, work better together. And I think we all knew that the more time we played together, that the better things we could do. So we were all, no one was down. We knew that we had the next year to grow together, and I think we really did that, and it showed. This year, we won, we making it further than we did at all last year.
Now, as the season was about to begin, was there any expectations set early on, or just talk to me about that?
Um, our preseason, we were pretty good throughout our preseason, which I know it doesn't always show how teams are gonna be like, obviously, but we were
Mhm.
playing well together. Everyone we weren't really thinking that we were gonna be, like, as good of a team as, like, how far we've gotten, but I think just we've the more time we spent together and the more, like, we learned about one another, like, we we just grown so much together, so I think we've come so far from preseason where we weren't really expected to be anything, like, crazy, but just the time we spent together showed that things would be different.
Now, in the first 4 games, you guys went 2-2. The first game was a loss. You lost by, I think it was 6 to Notre Dame Fairfield, and then you played Ludlow, and that wasn't even a bad game. It was
Yeah.
close. So, do you feel like as a team, because after that, you guys just went on a streak. I mean, I think you only lost a couple games from there on out. Were you guys able to kind of take a glass half full approach and saying, "Hey, if we make a couple adjustments here or there, we can go on a streak," which is exactly what happened?
Yeah, after those 2 games, Notre Dame and Ludlow, we knew that we could play with teams like that teams that are that good. So we knew that if we could just fix the little things that we need to improve on to actually beat teams like um, that if we can work on those, that we really have a chance. So I think we just took, especially those 2 games, very we played 2 very good teams. But once we were, aware that we could keep up with them, we really wanted to work hard so we can reach that goal of beating teams like that.
For you, specifically for yourself, as the season progressed, I mean, did you feel like that more players were looking at you as far as the leader, or more so maybe a group of players per se?
I'd like to think so. This year I became so much more confident in the way I play, and I learned just to like not be so stressed about everything, just play my game, which helped me a lot. And once I started like really like working well with my teammates and just having positive mindsets and everything, I'd like to think of myself as a leader. I know I'm not the oldest one on my team, but I know as a point guard, it's really important that we're all like in sync with one another and that they like listen to things I say. So I'd like to think that I had a good effect on the rest of my team, that they saw me as some sort of a leader.
Being the point guard is like being the quarterback in football terms. You kind of
Yeah.
lead the offense and you're dictating a lot of things, either up tempo, slowing the game down, taking air out of the basketball. I mean, I can tell you just in the point guards I see for boys basketball here in the NVL. I mean, it's ridiculous how they literally control the pace of the game in a lot of ways. And
Yeah.
for you, have you been able to, and again, just watching the film from Sacred Art Academy, it really shows you're able to kind of dictate multiple things. Was it hard to kind of know when to slow it down, when to speed it up? Because not only are you thinking about your own game, but you're also thinking like, okay, this player, that player, like so many different strategies in your head.
Yeah, I really sometimes when I think speeding up is the right, like, decision, I really have to think, "Is everyone set? Is everyone ready? Can I go?" Like, will everyone I have to make sure that my teammates are ready, and if I rush it, sometimes we may turn the ball over, so I think it's important that I, like, in specific moments, I understand when I need to slow down and when I don't, like, when I can take it fast, but there's some moments it's really everyone around me is always yelling, "Push it," or "Slow it down," so I really just have to think to myself what's gonna be the best, like, how are we gonna score points? Do we need to rush it right now? So, it kind of really depends on, like, what how the game is going. Sacred Heart was a team where I felt like we if we could push on them, that was how we were gonna score points, but they're very quick, so sometimes it was better when we slowed it down and ran our offenses.
At what point during the season did the team feel like, hey, we have something different than in past seasons? What game was it?
Um, Honestly, I think it was our New Canaan game. We played New Canaan and we lost in double overtime. A game that I personally think we lost because of ourselves. I know it's a tough game, but I think at that moment we were like, wow, we can really hang with these teams and we can really like go far. So that game, and then we had a bunch of good games after that. We were winning against hard teams that we lost to last year. Richfield, Danbury, Trumbull, all these really tough games where we really came together. We worked really well together, and it showed because we won those games that we didn't last year.
And you also won 9 of your last 10 games, and I think
Yeah.
that shows in a lot of ways. I mean, you could look at it one of 2 ways. You lose a close game against New Canaan in double OT, I think it was, and,
Mhm.
the team could be like, "Okay," and then rest on your laurels, and then that's how you lose 4 or 5 in a row. But the
Yeah.
fact that you guys responded to win 9 of your last 10,
Yeah.
especially in the FCAC, that had to be quite the confidence boost heading into the FCAC tournament, and then obviously states currently right now.
Yeah, I think that game was kind of a turning point for us. It was like we don't like to lose. We don't think like if we're playing well together, we shouldn't lose. So I think that game made us really like want it, and that was when we all realized, wow, like we want to go far. We know we can. So we just need to work hard to reach that. So yeah.
So what happened in the FCAC tournament for you guys?
So we played New Canaan first round, so we were all eager to beat them. We knew they were a good team. We knew they had a couple of really good players, but we wanted it. We really wanted to get our revenge on them, and we did. We came out with a lot of intensity. Everyone played really good defense. We were making our shots. We were passing well, and I think it really showed. We ended up winning that game by like a solid amount of points. So I think we really just came out strong, which was really good for us.
And then who'd you play after that?
Then we played St. Joe's, so which was the other team that we lost to in the normal season, and we also were eager for that. We were down by a halftime by like 10. So we came out of halftime, we came back, we were winning, we were up by like 2 at a point and we lost it. They ended up beating us, which is really unfortunate, but we wanted it and we tried. We played well together.
Now, do you think that even though in a loss, it kind of allowed the team to be able to regroup a little bit? Because with all the intensity between both games, right? When you think about New Canaan and then St. Joe's, it's like at some point a team is going to get spent. And not to say it would have been awesome to see you guys make it farther or maybe even win it, but it
Mhm.
comes at a cost. And I almost wonder, and maybe you could agree or disagree with this, that maybe allowing to rest a little bit and also see who you were matching up with, which now first game was against Stanford, as you said.
Mhm.
Just talk to me about that.
I agree. I would think it was obviously a bummer that we lost, but it was good. We had a lot of time to regroup, and at practices, we worked hard. We added new plays, we worked on new things, so that when we played other games in states, that we would be more prepared for them. So we had a lot of time to get ready for those games. And honestly, our Stanford game, it wasn't our best game. We were kind of all over the place a little bit, but we won. We pulled through. Everyone wanted it. Um, Though it wasn't our best game, we were able to win it. So
And both, well, with both games being close, we'll talk about the Sacred Heart game in a minute. Sacred Heart Academy. I mean, Coach Danko. I mean, how's his blood pressure? Is it okay? Does he
oh
have
my
any going on?
God. It's never okay. He's always going crazy, but he finds his calm and he tells us it's okay. Just work. He always appreciates when we're working hard. So I think the team wants to work hard for him. And when we work hard, we play well, and it shows. Even when we don't have our best games, like maybe shooting wise, everyone always works hard, which is really important for our team.
Now, when you guys are not shooting your best, either per quarter or maybe a couple minute stretch, and I'm sure it happened in the Stanford game, it happened in the Sacred Heart Academy game. One thing I noticed was defensively, you guys were able to buy time, even if you didn't score off the turnovers or you forced turnovers, whatever the case may be. You limited the amount of possessions on the opposing team, which then allowed you guys to be able to kind of get back into the groove of things. Does that make sense?
Yes, I think our defense is crucial to like our success of our team. Like one of my coaches always says, our defense is what creates the offense. So I think we practice a lot in our 2-3 match. And I think we do a really good job with our rotations. And as long as we have good communication with each other to limit our opponents, that's how if we're not having a good day on offense, we need to play well on defense to limit the other team's scoring opportunities.
Let's talk about the Sigard Academy game. The communication had to be key. I know, again, there was a lot of ups and downs with the game. But going into that game first, um, without revealing too much as far as the game plan, what was the conversations like with the team as you guys were driving or taking the bus to Sigard Academy?
I think everyone was a little nervous, which makes sense. They're a really good team. We knew that they're basically a entire team can shoot 3 pointers. We had to worry about that. But we also knew that this is a team that we could play with. We've shown like we were talking about the FCX very competitive, and we knew that we can hang with teams like that. So we were just thinking we match up well with this team when it comes to size, and so we have to have some confidence in ourselves. We know they're a good team, but we have to be able to find it in ourselves that we really wanted it. And if we work hard, we can get to it. Um, the team together, we weren't putting ourselves down and saying, oh, we're going to lose this game. No, we all wanted it. No one wanted our season to end. So we came out strong. And I think it paid off,
Yeah, I
honestly.
mean, when you beat them, I mean, I think it paid off. I think it shows all the hard
Yeah.
work and everything else. As the game, went on, and you saw how you were able to keep it close. I mean, it never seemed like either team, and it's crazy because I saw the same thing happen during the NVL tournament for a couple games where it never seemed like teams wanted to either pull away or wanted to be able to give up the lead too much, right? So,
Yeah.
uh, as it went through second quarter, third quarter, midway through the fourth, I mean, did it feel like the longer they kept you in, it was like you're playing with fire here?
Yeah. We knew one of my coach was saying, win each quarter, take it by the quarter. So we were thinking, okay, we know that this team is not gonna like they're not easily gonna fall back. We knew that at any time they could come back. So we had to keep up our intensity. So we took it each quarter. We have to win each quarter, and that's how we're gonna make it through the game. We knew that if we kept playing well together and we kept our energy up, that we could keep our lead, but we had to be aware that anytime we like die down, this team will run right at us and they could come back. So we didn't let ourselves die down. We kept our energy up.
Talk to me about the play design in the huddle. It was supposed to be for you, but you thought at first it wasn't supposed to be for you.
Yeah, because initially I thought it was I thought it was gonna be for one of my shooting guards. I was like, come on guys, like we can do this, like we got it. And And then my one of my teammates was like, "Emmy, like, this plays for you." And I was like, "Oh my god, what?" I was so thrown off because I wasn't expecting it to be a layup, but then I realized, "Oh, we only need 2 points." And I was so like, for some reason, I didn't allow myself to get nervous because just there was so much going on. I didn't even have time to, like, freak out, which was a good thing. I figured I'll get fouled or I'll just drive to the basket, just like and it worked. I just wanted it so bad. So our play was very good. It was very good, designed by Coach Danko, which was yeah, it was good. I don't know. It worked out.
When did you realize? Because again, in a situation like that, there's so much emotion between the players, your teammates, obviously realizing what happened as far as defeating one of the best programs in the state when it comes to girls basketball. I mean, when did it like hit you, Because in the second you're just like, "Oh my god, what did I just do?"
Yeah, oh my gosh. The play began, I got the ball, and I honestly had a pretty good lane because of how well the play was designed. So I had a play and I drove right to the basket, and honestly, I didn't even know that it went in until I was on the floor and my teammate told me it went in. And the amount of, like, energy and excitement, it was insane. It was something I haven't honestly felt in a really long time, and it was a really nice feeling. I It was oh my gosh, it was crazy last last play of the game, and the fact that we could beat a team as good as Sacred Heart Academy was crazy, and it was really just and really exciting overall.
And how much attention has both the program and yourself gotten since then?
A really good amount, which I'm really grateful for. Like, that clip was posted on our basketball Instagram and on Game Time CT Instagram, and that was really I thought that was so cool. I'm really happy that our team finally got attention. Like I was saying before, it's tough to get attention, obviously. But I was really happy for the team, and I think that made us all really excited. And not only was it excited, but it made us motivated to want to keep going, keep winning these games, so we can get more like excitement like that.
But for yourself as well, I mean, for someone who I'm sure has put in a lot of work, a lot of time into your craft. I mean, to get the attention that you've gotten, I don't know if you've done a lot of interviews or a lot of podcasts or anything like that. To get this attention, it's got to be nice.
It does. It feels really good. I really this is my like I think my best year in basketball so far. And I'm happy to get the attention. Usually I'm the point guard. I don't get as much attention as my shooting guard scoring all the points, which is understandable. But it feels really nice to get appreciation for the hard work that I put into our team. And it feels really good to have a lot of people commenting on my game. And I'm just happy that it is happening.
Emily, I appreciate you coming on. A lot of fun being able to talk with you about what happened in that game and just the overall, the entire season. But before I let you go really quick, you play Newtown in a couple days, and a game like Sacred Heart Academy, where it's the energy up and down, left and right. The plateau effect is, I've always mentioned that with games. When you have a game like that, you don't want to go down the cliff because it's
Mhm.
like a drop off. How is Fairfield Ward trying to avoid that drop off per se?
Well, we're the underdog, we know that, but we know that we want it, and I know Newtown's a very good team, but I know that so are we, and I think that if we play well together and we all come out strong, that we can win it. We have to keep having good practices, keep running our game plan, and I think that we could hang with this team, and hopefully it comes out like hopefully we get the win.
And maybe try to win by more than a couple points if that's the
Yeah.
case. Coach Danko is not having a heart attack on the court,
I
please.
don't think he can handle another close game.
No, see, that should be the motivation, motivation itself. Don't
Do
have a
it for
close game
Danko.
because then, with coach,
Yeah,
you know.
true.
But Emily, I appreciate you coming on. Best of luck as far against Newtown, and hopefully Fairfield Ward can continue on proving a lot of people wrong.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
No problem. I'll wrap things up here on the Connecticut Sports Talent Show. So until next time, stay safe. MRCT stands for Connecticut Talent. I'm Journey Find Them All. Enjoy the show, everybody, and be well.